We continue with Siyata Deshmaya on Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph for Amud Yomi, as we try to continue being mechazik ourselves and with Siyata Deshmaya for our soldiers. We're up to the breakdown, Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph. Tanu Rabbanan. Ein omdim lispal, lo mitoch atzvus, v'lo mitoch atzlus, v'lo mitoch schok, v'lo mitoch sicha, v'lo mitoch kalut rosh, v'lo mitoch dvarim telem, v'lo mitoch simcha shal mitzvah. So the Breita says you don't daven from sadness, from laziness, atzlus. The giving up hope and not having kavana, says the Meiri, atzlut of yush and chisaron kavana, v'lo mitoch schok, of laughter, v'lo mitoch sicha, of leitzanus. The says Rashi, the sicha stam is not of leitzanus, but here it's here we're talking about a sicha of leitzanus, the of just mocking and cynicism. Lo mitoch kalut rosh. Concept of levity, v'lo mitoch dvarim telem, mitoch simcha shal mitzvah. The idea of any type of divrei shavach and tanchumin and Torah, neviim, ksuvim. That's why we say ashrei. The right, or smichas gula, mitzrayim and shachris, or as we had said, tilo David of the shavach, or you, right, ritzon yarav yaseh, shomer Hashem et kol ha'avav. Right, those are all as a opening to help us to have kavanah. The next, so the Brighton then continues. V'chein lo yipater, you shouldn't leave adam mechavero. Lo mitoch sicha, again of leitzanus, lo mitoch schok, lo mitoch kalut rosh, lo mitoch dvarim betelem, lo mitoch dvar alacha. Right, that when you leave a person, also the same idea, even though there's different girsos over here, whether it means mitoch simcha shel mitzvah. But here our girsa is mitoch dvar shal halacha. Tamid Rabbeinu Yonah has the girsa of mitoch simcha shal mitzvah. Some have the girsa of mitoch dvar shal chachma. That's a tosefta. Or some of them mitoch dvar shal Torah, as we will see. Okay, shekein matzina b'neviim rishonim, that they were giving nevuah of tsar and rebuke, but they were messiahim, they're divrei b'derech shevach v'tanchumim. Right? So that just like how we're not just talking about neviim rishonim of Yoshua, Shoftim, Shmuel, and Malachim, because those are not finishing divrei shevach, but the kavanah here is the neviim themselves, which that's how the Maharsha explains it, and the right, there are questions that some Sifrei Nevi'im don't end in Divrei Shevach. Tosfos talks about it here in Dibur Maschel Shekain. Okay, but that's that concept of trying to end B'Divrei Shevach V'Tarchumin also when you leave a person. The Gemara brings a bright up. How do you leave again from your friend? V'chein Tana, Mari bar Berei, the grandson of Rav Huna, Berei the Rav Yirmiyah bar Abba, Al Yipater Adam Mechavero El Mitoch Dvar Alacha. Shemitoch kach, here comes the next piece, is not just. Now it starts explaining to El Mitoch kach Zochreu. Here, this is the time when you say a halacha chadashah, but your friend doesn't know. So now, anytime the chaver will remember the friend, he'll remember the Shem Omro. Right? He'll remember you say it, and then they'll built up connections between you. Okay. So I guess different ways to understand what's the depth of leaving a friend dvar halacha. You either you remember them for that tova, or you remember that yedidut together. The Gemara explains a maisa now within this. Kiha, like the following maisa: the Rav Kahana alvei le Rav Shimi Barashi. Rav Kahana escorted Rav Shimi Barashi on the derech from the place called Pum Nara, right, the mouth of the Nara, ad Beit Sana de Bavel, to the Makam in Bavel, that they have lots of trees. Ki Matalahasam, when he got there, Amar Le Rav Kahana said to Rav Shimi Barashi, Mar Vade Damrinshi, is it really true what people say that Hani Tziste de Bavel, these trees of Bavel, Isnu me Adam Rishon ad Hashtra, they're like mamish, they've been here forever, from the time of Adam Rishon until now. Amar Le Rav Shimi Barashi said to him, It karton milso de Rav Yossi Bar Chanina, you reminded me that's something that Rav Yossi Bar Chanina said. Dam Rav Yossi Bar Chanina, my dechsiv, what is it? Pasuk in Yirmiyahu, Perek Bet, Pasuk Vav, V'lo Amru, Ayeh Hashem, Hama'aleh Otanu, me Eretz Mitzrayim, hamolichotanu bamidbar, be'eretz arava v'shucha, be'eretz tzia v'tzalmavet, ba'aretz asher lo avar ba'ish, v'lo yashav adam sham. That's the pasuk in Yirmiyahu. As the Gemara v'chimi achar, it says the lo avar ba. Really, a man didn't pass by. If that's true, hey yashav ba adam. How does man sitting there? That you have to say v'lo yeshiv adam sham, right? If nobody passed there, so then it's a pashut that you didn't live there. Ella, what's it coming to teach me? Lo malachal. Kol eretz shegazar leo adam arishon. That it's going to be a yishuv nityashva. That there's going to be population that was populated. Kol eretz shelo gazar leo adam arishon. That it should be yishuv lo nityashva. And this is what it means, lo yashav adam sham. That it wasn't gozer to have a yishuv. And that's where Anashim, that you saw the Dekalim in Bavel, it's from the time of Adam Rishon, meaning Adam Rishon gazar on this place that it should have lots of trees. Right? So we see again that Rav Shimi Barashi didn't leave Rav Kahana only mitoch Dvar Allah, or Dvar, in this case, Dvar Torah. Okay, next. The Gemara brings another Maisa, again, of escorting Baderach. Rav Mordechai Ilave, again, escorted Rav Shimi Barashi Baderach from the place called Hagrogina Va'ad Bekifi, which is a place of bridges. Farmila, and some people say he escorted him Ad Beidora. Right, fine. Next. The Gemara brings another Brisa about our Chiyuv of Kavana and Tefillah. Tanu Rabba, no, our rabbis taught in the Brisa and the Tosefta. Mispalo tzarch shechavens libel shamayim at the time of Tefillah should have Kavan and Perish Hamilos to actually understand what's going on. Abba Shalom Mer, we found the Siman in Devar Shneimar. It says in Tehillim chapter 10, Tachin libam, takshiv oznecha. Right, if you properly prepare and you have Kavan and Tefillah, then HaKadosh Baruch will listen to your Tefillah. Tani, we learn in the Brayso Rav Yehuda, Kachayam minhago shel Rabbi Akiva. This is the minhag of Rabbi Akiva. Keshem mispalel imatzi bar yemekatzer ve'ola. He would not be ma'arich, right? In the words here, there's a whole discussion whether he was the shliach tzibur at this point. Mimnei Torah chatzibur, because the derech shliach tzibur is to wait for the gadol b'tzibur, and therefore the question is whether it's stam he was just davening there and we're waiting for the gadol b'tzibur, or was he the shliach tzibur? Different machlokas we're showing him here. When he was davening by himself, Adam Manicho, a person would leave from the shul. When he was in Zavit Zu of this corner of the Beit Knesset, when he would come back, how could it be that he came and he found Rabbi Akiva in a different corner? The Brisa says, because of all of his bowing down and prostrations, that he was marbet lichro, right, pishur yadayim v'raglayim, and therefore each time he would get up, he would marchik himself, he would distance himself from the place that he was standing at. Another halacha in Kavana, you should daven in a place that has windows, because it helps you with Kavana, according to Rashi. Because you look up and you see how vast it is, and then you are subjugated. As it says in Daniel, v'Daniel kadi yada di rishim ketava al libsei v'chavin psichenle. In the Ilte Neged Yerushalayim v'zimnin tulta biyomahu barech haberkoi mitzali meodi kadim alha. Daniel knew when he went to the house, he had the windows open to him in the Aliyah Keneged Yerushalayim 3 times a day. He bowed down and he gave thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Right, and therefore that's what the Kasav saying, that Dafka, again, similarly, that it was the Bayit Sheish Bo Chalonot. Okay, so now the Gemara says, it brings another Brisa that gets more halachot and tefillah from Ketuvim. The Brisa says, Yachol Yispal Adam Kol Yom Kula, or maybe you should say that we don't know how many times you should be davening all day. Says the Brisa, don't say that, because again, Kfar before Shaydei Daniel, we just said, it said Zimnin Tlasa, like we read that pasuk again in Daniel. It said it was 3 times in Parak Vav. The Brisa says, Yachol, that maybe only daven like Daniel, Shebala Gola, Huchla. He started to daven like that way, but before the Galus, Daniel wouldn't daven 3 times a day. Answers the Brisa, don't say that. Shekvar Nemar, it says already in Tfilas Daniel, again there, Kokaval di Haved min Kamas Dina. Right? This was Daniel doing it even beforehand. right? So you would always daven 3 tefillos in a day. The Brisa adds, Yachol yispal adam l'kol ruach sheyirtza, any direction, tamalomar, no. The kavel neged Yerushalayim, as we said, you have to daven towards Yerushalayim. Says the Brisa again, Yachol yeh kolam bevazachas, they should daven all the 3 tefillos, be as efficient as possible, 1 hour, right? Says the Brisa, kafar meforshai, they David, don't do this, techziv erev avokav etzarayim, tell him, hey, we said earlier on, asicha v'emev yishma koli, each different times, boker, erev, and sarayim. Says the Brisa, Yachol Yashmiya, the Kola b'tfila, so maybe you should raise your voice in tefillah. So we learned this already. Kfar before Shaydei Chana, you shouldn't do that. It said by Chana, Chani medaberat alibav, rak sfateh naot v'kola lo yishamea. So you shouldn't raise your voice too much. Says the Gemara, we had said this already. That the Gemara had said is Miktane Amuna. As we had said, it's as if you think HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't listen to your tefillah balachash. And the next breita that adds, it says Yachol Yish Al Adam Etzracha V'Achach Yispalal. First you should daven maybe the middle brachos of Shemona Esrei, which is the bakashas, and then you should do the first shalosh brachos of Shevach. And so the Brisa said, no, Kfar before Shaydei Shlomo, you shouldn't do this, because Tfilat Shlomo at the time of Chanukah at Beit HaMikdash, it says, Ufanita al Tfilat Avdecha vel Tchinato Hashem Elokai, Lishmo el Arina vel Tfilah Asher Avdecha Mitpalel Fenachayom. So first Rina is Zu Tfilah of Shevach, and that which it says Tfilah, that's Bakasha, and the asking your needs. So the Shevach comes before the Bakasha. So too, first 3 brachos of Shevach, and only afterwards you start asking your Bakashat Tzrachim. The Breita continues about this bakasha that's only after Shevach, is ein omer a davar, or again, to ask your needs, la'achar emes v'yatziv, before the 3 brachos of Shemona Esrei, because you shouldn't be asking your tzrachim before the berachos HaShevach, aval achar tefillah, but after davening, before you take your 3 steps back, if you want to ask bakasha, safilu keseder vilu shel Kippurim, you could say omer. In Marnami, we have a Breita, the Beit Midrash supporting this. Amr Abchir Barashi Marav Afa Pisha Amru. Even though the Chacham said Sheshoel Adam Tzrachav in Bircha Shomea Tefila, but in Baal Lomar Achar Tefila, so and you'd be Marich even Kasei Davido Yom Kippur Momer, which means you have options. You have the option of within Shema Kolenu, or after you take your 3 steps back. A couple more halachot from Tefila of Chana. Amr Avamnuna Kama Hilchasa Gavarsa Ikal Mishma Mehani Kroi Chana. Great halachas we can learn from the psukim that by Tfilat Chana, that Chana hi medaberot al liba, right? Lots of kavana, mikan, that you have to have kavanas libo. Next limud, as the continuation of that pasuk, rak svaseh hanos. Here we learn that every mispala has to be yachtoch bisfatav, say the words with his lips and not just have kavana in his heart. Another limud v'kola lo yishameh. Umikan, that what asur lagbia kol b'tfilah, so you got to daven balachash, not screaming out there. And the last thing is Vayach Shavel Eli Shikora, right? And Elia Cohen, who started, they thought she was a Shikor. Mikan, from here we see that a Shikor is Asur Lehit Pa Lel. Okay, we'll start next time. Laman Aleph from the base.